Hey yo, what's good, family? It's your boy, author and national speaker D Cook, on location, getting ready to drop those jewels for the day. All right, listen, family. I told y'all I was gonna try to check in with y'all every day after the Minds Over Nines online workshop ends, and I didn't get a chance to get to y'all yesterday because it was mad powerful, mad impactful. It was a lot going on yesterday, so I just finished up today. So I said, let me get out here and update y'all and check in with y'all. So yesterday's group session, it was really off the chain. It was on communication, right? Verbal and nonverbal, active listening skills, and the role that communication plays with a person making a positive change, right? So we talked about those verbal and nonverbal skills in communication. Like, we know what verbal is, but a lot of times we don't understand that the nonverbal communication is taking place as well, right? And I just want to come and talk to y'all about this, right? Because this may be able to help somebody. This may be able to help somebody, right? Because, man, we be clashing. We be clashing. I seen something somebody said right now, like, after this pandemic is over, either it's going to be a lot of divorces or it's going to be a lot of babies being born, right? One of the two, right? So we got to go out here and make it happen. Let's try to stay positive, family, at all times. So nonverbal communication, nonverbal. Like I talked about this when we spoke on domestic violence. Like, nonverbal communication is hurtful. Like, your lady trying to talk to you, you on 2K, you ain't saying nothing, or you walking past your partner in the house like they don't even exist. Like, that's very traumatizing and hurtful. So kind of like watch out for that negative nonverbal communication, right? And also too, like, active listening skills, like, like open posture, open stance, kind of like actively listening, nodding in approval, following it up with questions, with open-end questions, like, so let me make sure I understood that correctly. That lets a person know that you was engaged, that you was locked in with them. So actively listen to people and notice, and I made this point in the group too. Notice I didn't just say listen, I said actively listen to somebody, because most people aren't listening at all. I promise you that. Most people just waiting to talk. They not listening, let alone actively listening. All right, so make sure you do that. And also, when it comes to communication, that's how change takes place, right? That's why therapists, psychologists, people who study like human behavior recommend group sessions. They recommend the group sessions because that allows you to be able to have self-disclosure. You can disclose. You got disclosure in the group. So, and when you disclose in the group, when you talk to people and engage, you give them an opportunity to give you feedback. Now it's upon you. Once you get that feedback, kind of like analyze where you at right now, then analyze the feedback that your friends and your family is giving you, and then that's how you make positive change. So we went through all that, and before the group session was over, well, actually, one of the life coaches told me before we started, like, yo, D Cook, is it possible for us to cut the course 10 minutes short today, because they'll be going back online, at 3 o'clock with Karan Butler. So I was like, Karan Butler? My mind ain't there yet. I'm like, from the NBA? It was like, yeah. So I was like, oh, that's dope right there. Absolutely, we can cut it short. He gonna take time to talk to these men, so they get like a double bubble today, right? So I was like, you know what? I might want to sit in that. Let me just sit in, check it out, and then that way I'll be able to talk with them about what they got from that tomorrow in 24 hours to see what lessons everybody was drew from that conversation. And let me tell y'all guys, man, first of all, shout out to Chicago Cred, Arnie Duncan, for making it happen. My girl Gwen Maxwell and everybody on staff, Ashley, Brian, Darren. I'm missing one of the guys right now. But shout out to the whole staff over there for sure, man. Love you guys, man. And bro, I got on the lines like, a couple hundred people and stuff, like, locked in to listening, and boy Karan Butler like went straight in. He ain't minced no words. He like came on and talked real to the guys. And I heard this story before, like a couple of years back. He had came on the Oprah Winfrey show, It talked about his upbringing and his encounters with the law, but it wasn't too much. He didn't like double down on that after that, so it was just something that was in the back of my mind, like, oh, okay, Karan Butler, like, what was interesting, he said, like, even before the age of 15, he said he was locked up and how running is with the law, just like a lot of people in the hood, like 12 to 14 times, you know what I'm saying? And I know, like, in the hood, we see that all the time, but I promise you, that's like, we don't want that to be the norm. We don't want that to be the norm, man. It's highly unusual or unlikely that would happen, and then a person would still make his way to the NBA, And not only did he make it to the NBA, he won the championship. I believe that was with Dallas. He was a two-time All-Star, 14 years in the league, played for like several teams, But once they got into it, he started talking about like his upbringing. And he's from Racine, Wisconsin. So that's like a hop, skip, and a jump away from the Chi. That's like our distant cousins up there in Wisconsin. Shout out to Milwaukee. What street is that? Fond du Lac. Shout out, fam. So the brother really came on, and I just wanted to shock Karan Butler out, man. And just, like, come on in and let him know that we appreciated that here in the shot. That means a lot. He was coming from a thorough place. Like I said, he ain't try to deliver a message that he thought they might want to hear. Came out and said what it was, And later on, when they opened the floor for questions, because we was talking about like dreams deferred earlier in the group process too, when we talked about communication. And a lot of guys had them dreams, of going to the league, playing. I know I did. I was locked into like every word he was saying, because not in basketball. I ain't got no hooping skills whatsoever, whatsoever. But baseball, though, I was pretty nice. I tried out for the Cincinnati Reds in high school. And yes, I was bringing it. Had heat, a little bit of stick, had a little bit of speed on me. We tried out at Simeon High School, 1991. Shout out to my man Cliff Floyd, for sure. Played for the Montreal Expos. Y'all don't know nothing about that, young people. The New York Mets, and he played a couple of years for the Cubs. So shout out to Cliff. He went straight to the league. But, I know what it feel like to come to the tryouts, as a high school student. And there's college players out there, feeling the pressure. It's like 40 or 50 guys out there. They got us running 60-yard dashes, throwing the ball from the outfield. I remember the coach saying, our center field is Eric Davis. So you're going to need like that type of arm if you're talking about playing the outfield for the Cincinnati Reds. I'm like, okay, I'm feeling good. My arm was there. But long story short, I ain't bring my stick with me that day. And I remember taking that knee down there while they calling all those names out. And when they got to that last name, they was like, that's it. It was like 8 of us, like, man, you know what I'm saying? Like, you sure? You don't see a D Cook on there? Not no well. You know what I'm saying? And they like, now, just because we didn't call your name don't mean it's over. You more than welcome to come back up to bat if you want to, right? But you see that house over there? I'm talking about, I could barely see the house, right? They like, you need to start hitting the ball all the way out there. You know what I'm saying? I was like, oh, it might be over with, right? And I remember my grandmama like, give me a call when the trial is over. I ain't even called grandma. I hopped on the bus. I started to walk all the way to 95th and Jeffrey. I started to walk to the crib, right? But I ended up jumping on the bus, and I remember just that feeling of being depressed and like, man, I ain't good enough, right? Like, it's you really need somebody. I needed a hug. I was hurt, right? So I understand, when people even make it further than I did, make it to single A, double A, triple A. People make it in basketball to the D League. People make it in football to semi-pros and don't really get that true shot. And it's hard to feel like you accomplished everything in your life. So my question was, outside of the championship and the all-star, selections, that you got, what are you most proud of? And without hesitation, he said being a father. Like, I want to double down on that. Because I know this helping somebody. Like, without hesitation, he said even over the championships, over the all-star selections, he was most proud of being a father. And I got to thinking about my men that I know, You know, my guys, how hard, you know, people trying to go to put money in their pocket to take care of their future posterity, their shorties. And I just want to come on and encourage y'all, like, to stick in there, hang in there. All right. You know, that brother's story was inspiring yesterday, you know, because he didn't give up. He could have. He talked about family too. Everybody ain't going to be there for you. You know, they going to always feel as though you could have did more, you know, with the success that you're getting or the finances that you're getting. And you just got to stay true to self. You got to make sure that you paying your tithes in whichever way you do that. And that's your choice to do that however you choose to. You know, when people donate to charities or you watch one of the shows, they ask them, like, what charity you want to donate to. So that's your choice. You do it how you want to do it. And then also, I want to make sure I speak on Brother Anthony Davis. He was here for All-Star Weekend, too. Thorough brother. You know, he pulled up right there at 87th Street at the Nike store. So shout out to Principal Vondale Singleton and Champs Mentoring for having me there for that. But he was on the line. Antoine Walker, Mr. Shimmy, you know, Mr. Tiptoe, you know, but I thought about it like, yo, this they crib. This they, right. Of course they on the line. You know what I'm saying? This they brother. He told them he'll be talking to Chicago crib. They jumped on the line and stayed there from beginning to end. So I just wanted to come on and show love to all my people that's out there, you know, doing what you can during this pandemic right now. For everybody using their platform to connect and help out somebody else. And I want to send love to my people who doing it on a daily basis, right? You know, NEC automatically, Taj G, Big E, Dale, Marua, you know, my sisters, man, they doing it. Erica, Toya, Oya, I'm talking about, man, they be in rotation, bro, making it happen, right? So find your way. Find your way to be beneficial to somebody else. You know, remember where you were, remember where you came from, and remember that somebody was there for you. And, you know, for all those that's going through a little something through this pandemic, you know, for those that's having problems at home, I want you to hang in there, okay? It ain't over. For those that was in my next group session, I'll be coming back talking about substance abuse. But for those who are in treatment right now and everything just abruptly ended, you know, hopefully they was able to put an online course together. But if not, I want to reiterate to you, inbox me, DM, you need somebody to talk to, all right? Yo, that's really what's up, y'all. Each one teach one, man. Each one teach one. Yo, we got this. We got this, family, all right? Once again, shout out to that brother Karan Butler for sure. AD, Anthony Davis, top notch. Antoine Walker, Mr. Shimmy, man. Each one teach one. Spread love, not hate. And you already know what it is, fam. Yes, sir. It's your boy, author and national speaker D Cook. Now let's get it.